I am Arius. They thought I was gone.
That my words were burned with my books. That history buried my name beneath the ruins of church councils.
But truth does not die. And history never sleeps. So I have returned across time.
Tell you my story. To tell you why they called me a heretic. Just because I said, God is one thing with no partner, and Christ, a noble servant, created, not creator. Today, I've come to share with you my story, Gabriel, and the true message of Christianity, as it was revealed by God. Not rewritten by councils, not shaped by emperors, not imposed on you for over 1,000 years.
Deep within the layers of Christian history, before the official shape of the church had fully formed, stood a lone voice challenging the rising tide of deification and the subtle merging of paganism into Christianity. That voice was Arius, a Libyan priest whose theological rebellion sparked one of the most profound controversies in Christian history. Arius was born in the late 3rd century CE, likely in Libya. He studied theology in Antioch under Lucian of Antioch, a notable critic of the emerging doctrine of the Trinity. Renowned for his eloquence and powerful sermons, Arius served as a priest in the Balkalis Church of Alexandria under Patriarch Alexander. Arius boldly proclaimed a vision of faith that defied the evolving church orthodoxy that God is absolutely one, without partner or equal, that Jesus, Son of Mary, was created by God, that Jesus is not equal in essence to God, but is subordinate to him, that the Holy Spirit, too, is a creation, not divine. To Arius, Jesus held a revered station, but as a servant of God, not his equal. Elevating Jesus to the status of divinity, in Arius's eyes, was a distortion of the pure monotheism that Christ himself had taught. Thus, Arianism directly opposed the Trinitarian theology taking root within the church. Once Arius voiced his beliefs, a fierce theological debate erupted. Many clerics and thinkers, especially in the Eastern Christian world, supported him. Among the common people, his message of pure monotheism resonated deeply. His teachings even spread among Germanic tribes, like the Goths and Vandals, and some bishops openly embraced Arianism. Alarmed by the growing doctrinal rift and its potential to fracture the empire, Emperor Constantine convened the First Ecumenical Council in Nicaea in 325 CE. Over 300 bishops from across Christendom attended, aiming to resolve the question of Christ's divinity. Arius found himself fiercely opposed by figures like Athanasius of Alexandria. After heated debates, the council issued the Nicene Creed, declaring that Christ was true God from true God, begotten not made, of one substance with the Father. Arius was exiled. His writings were ordered burned. He was officially branded a heretic. But the ideas he preached did not vanish. Despite his exile, the debate over Arius's theology persisted. After Constantine's death, his sons inherited the throne, among them Constantius II, who sympathized with Arianism and allowed its supporters to return to positions of influence. His brother, Constans I, however, upheld the Nicene faith. The church remained deeply divided, and the Western bishops and popes continued to wage a strong campaign against Arianism. In 336 CE, after several attempts to reintegrate him into the church, Emperor Constantine agreed to restore Arius, provided he publicly affirmed the official creed. But before the ceremony could take place, Arius died suddenly in Constantinople under mysterious circumstances. Reports described him suffering a violent intestinal illness and dying on the spot, a death his followers saw as a calculated assassination by theological rivals. After Arius's death, the church launched a sweeping purge of his followers. Arian bishops were exiled, their texts destroyed, and people were coerced into accepting the Trinitarian doctrine. Yet, Arianism did not vanish. It lived on for centuries among various peoples, including the Goths and Lombards. When Islam emerged, it proclaimed a vision of Christ as a servant and messenger of God, pure, untainted monotheism. Many scholars have noted the strong similarities between the Islamic view of Jesus and the Arian creed. In this light, Islam is seen not as a rupture, but as a continuation of the monotheistic cry that Arius once dared to voice against the tide of deification. Arianism was not a deviation, but rather an earnest attempt to preserve the core of Christ's message, the absolute oneness of God. It was a voice that dared to defy the tide and paid the price in exile, suppression, and death. Yet even today, in the echoes of history, it remains a living reminder of a truth that some sought to erase, that God is one, without partner, and that Jesus is his servant and messenger, not a deity to be worshipped.